Alright, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. As ever, I'm Jake from Biceps and Banter, back with the actual fitness advice that you need. No fads, no gimmicks, just the simple, effective fitness advice that is gonna help you get the result that you are wanting to get. And today, we're gonna be talking about carbs. We are gonna be talking about why do low carb diets work? And even though they work, because they do work, are they the best method for you? So we're going to be jumping into this really quickly. We're going to be breaking this down in as simple and as quick a way as we possibly can. So if you haven't got much time, don't worry, this isn't going to take too long. Get a cup of tea, sit down, get comfy, and I'm going to tell you all about why low carb diets may not be the best decision for you. But before that, real quick, go and grab the subscribe button and hit like on the video. I'm trying to grow this channel as much as I possibly can to get this simple and effective information out to as many people as possible who are stuck, frustrated, confused by all the fad BS fitness advice out there. So do me a favor and go do that, and then let's jump into today's video. So low carb dieting, you're going to have come across this, and you're going to know so many people that have said, I've lost so much weight, all I did was avoid bread, all I did was avoid going out for pizza, all I did was cut out the fizzy drinks, the carbs were what was making me fat, all this, that and the other. You're going to have heard it all, and it leads into this misbelief that carbs are the problem, right? That bread is evil, that sugar's making you fat, that the only way to lose weight is to cut all the carbs out your diet and to make sure that you're balancing your blood sugar. You're going to have seen this from people in the office, you're going to have seen this from friends down at the pub maybe, everywhere. And it's all bullshit. It is all absolute nonsense. Because don't get me wrong, low carb diets work, right? They do. They've worked for so many people, and people have made millions off of selling low carb diets. They work for fat loss. No one's arguing that. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be the best thing for you, because there is literally nothing magic about it. And the people that lose body fat when they go on low carb diets, they're not losing it because they've suddenly cut carbs out of their diet. It's not the lack of carbohydrates that are making the difference. When we're taking carbohydrates from foods like breads, like pizzas, like chocolate, like fizzy drinks, cakes, all that kind of thing, if we have more carbs than the body needs, converts what it doesn't need, stores as fat, our body fat increases. So essentially it just means you're overeating on carbohydrates, you're putting yourself into a calorie surplus. And this is the thing that we need to focus on, right? Because when people cut carbohydrates out their diet completely and they suddenly start losing loads of weight, it's not because they're not eating any carbs, it's because they've dramatically dropped their calorie intake. Go through a typical day, right? You might have in a normal day cereals for your breakfast, you might have a sandwich and some crisps at lunch, you might have a chocolate bar somewhere in the middle of the afternoon, you might have a pizza in the evening, or maybe make some sort of curry with some bread or something. Like you might have a lasagna with loads of pasta and some garlic bread, and then you can throw in a few fizzy drinks as you go along the day, things like that. The bulk of your diet, of a typical normal diet, is carbohydrates. So if someone just completely cuts that out of their diet, they're literally going to be reducing their daily calorie intake by at least a third, if not probably more than that. So obviously they're going to be into a calorie deficit, obviously they're going to start losing body weight. It's not the carbs that are making a difference, it is the reduction in your calories, right? Look at it this way, if I were to say to you, right, I'm going to put you on a diet and all you're going to eat every single day is 2 slices of toast with some jam on it, and that is it. That's all you're going to eat. Do you think you are going to lose weight? Of course you are, because it's nothing. You're going to be starving all day. You're still eating carbs and sugar in the bread and in the jam, but you're still losing weight. So then it's obviously not the carbohydrates that are making a difference, it's the fact that you're suddenly eating a lot less calories. Disclaimer, do not only try eating 2 slices of toast and jam a day to lose weight. It's not a good idea. But that's the point I'm trying to make. It's easy to see why it works when you actually look beyond the fact that it's just dropping carbs out the diet. It's easy to understand why it works, because the bulk of your diet is probably carbohydrate based, and when you suddenly pull that out, you're suddenly eating pretty much next to nothing. It's nothing special. And actually, when we then look at the long-term implications of those people who lose all that weight, and you will have seen this happen time and time again, maybe it's happened to you, but then go on to regain all that weight back over time and a little bit more, it's because it's not sustainable. It's because after a point, you want to eat carbohydrates again. You want to go back to those foods that you like and you enjoy, that you cut out to lose weight in the first place. And you slowly start to reintroduce them and drip feed them. And then the problem just arises again, and that weight comes back on over time because you start overeating those foods again, because you haven't built an understanding of what actually caused that fat loss in the first place. Essentially, it makes dieting harder than it has to be, because remember as well, carbohydrates are enjoyable. We all like them. They fill you up, so they leave you feeling fuller for longer, less hunger, less cravings, which means that when you're dieting, it's going to be a hell of a lot easier. And this is why most of my clients who are dieting will have a good amount of carbohydrates in their diet. They will all pretty much be, unless specified otherwise, on a higher carbohydrate diet, because it doesn't affect their ability to lose body fat, as long as they're still in a calorie deficit. I've had clients go through a photo shoot process who have still had a bit of ice cream every day, who have still had pizza on a weekend, things like that. As long as it's accounted for and you're in a deficit, you can still have carbs in your diet and lose body fat consistently, and actually long term, it's going to help you keep that weight off as well. One of the things I notice as well with clients when I put them onto these kinds of diets, when they do have high carbohydrates and they've not experienced this before, the first thing that they say is they've never felt so full on a diet. They've never had so much energy on a diet. Their hunger and cravings have never been so low on a diet. They're actually struggling to get through their calories in a day because they feel so full. Like, imagine going through that process in a diet where you're actually feeling so full you can't get through the amount of food you need to get through during that day to lose weight. Like, that is a situation, that is a good place to be in. And also, they all comment on the fact that they can still work in meals out because they're not cutting carbs out of their diet, which means that they're not suddenly going out for a pizza, going out for a curry, going out for sushi, anything like that. They can work all those things into their diet super easily because they're still having carbs. So yes, low carb dieting does work. Yes, it does help lose body fat very, very quickly. Yes, you will know loads of people that have probably done it very successfully, but that doesn't mean it's the smart approach. It could be the right approach for you, but for most people, probably not going to be the right approach for maintaining that long-term weight loss. So don't fall prey to it. Be smart with how you diet. Think calories, not carbs, and you'll be grand. And that's it. Super short, super sweet, explaining everything you need to know about why low carb diets work. Like I said at the start, if you enjoy these videos, go and grab the subscribe button, hit like on the video, help me out with boosting the channel, share it with your mates, and I will see you in the next video.